Inkjet Studio. Today we're going to do a really fun project. It's an inkjet transfer. This is a printout that I made for my HP inkjet printer, and I drew this up on my sketchbook program, but you could find coloring pages on the internet to print up, or signage stuff on the internet, and just print that up on your inkjet printer. And I also have some chalk paint. I've already chalk painted my piece of cedar with a little bit of it's called Cottage White. And we have some Mod Podge. Mine is the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Just gonna try it. I've done an inkjet transfer with regular acrylic paint and a little rubbed on chalk, so I thought I'd give this a shot with the actual chalk paint, see how it works. So what we're gonna do is take our image, and I just wanna show you, this is just a piece of cedar board that I pulled out of the shed. And so let's just take our Mod Podge and we're gonna put it on our image. And then I'm gonna lay it over our piece of wood. And any brush, probably a bigger one would be better. And cover that whole image with your Mod Podge. Do the whole, make sure you cover the whole page as well that you're putting on, from side to side. So that's how I did my other one. I think that's how it has to be done. We're learning together here. All right, that is coated pretty well, I think. I'm looking at it. Yep, it is coated well. So what I'm going to do is lift that up, and I've already aligned it in the center and taped it on the back, just so that when I put it on, it's not gonna, I don't have to wiggle it or anything. I just lay it on here and just press it down. And make sure we don't have any bubbles. So I'm gonna take this, lift that corner up a little bit, press it down, just like you would do wallpaper type thing, I guess. And I want it to make sure, because this is bumpy wood, I want to make sure it gets in all those cracks. Next is just let this dry. We're going to let this dry for a while. Looks like it's taken off some of the paint there. I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to gush all that Mod Podge out. I'm going to let this dry up, and then we'll be back to reveal our image. I've let this dry for a few hours. I did use my heat gun on it to dry it up at first, and then I just let it sit for a few hours. And now we're going to take in a wet sponge, and we're going to get this whole thing wet. Leave it soak for a minute. And then we're going to start rubbing the paper off, and hopefully our design will stay behind. And don't worry that it's inkjet yet. We'll see what happens when we start rubbing this paper off. And I really want to let that soak for a minute because I want to make it easier to rub the paper off. All right, so you could use your sponge, you know, the scrubby side of your sponge, or your fingers. We're just going to try with our fingers at first. And you can see that paper does start pulling off pretty easily. And there we go. There's our, and don't worry about the brown or the pink or anything like that you see happening, because we're going to take our paper towel and it's going to wipe right off. Let's put this paper over here. We can wipe it onto the paper. And just get, get your hands wet and go on in there. And just keep rubbing. Oh yes, it's looking good. And when you do your printout, make sure that you flip it so that it's like a mirror image, so that when you put it on, it will be the right way. And you can do that in the Canva program. If you save your design as a photo and then go into Canva and create a new design, and there's an option to flip it when you do it that way. All right, I'm going to continue to work on this, and I will be back to show you how this turned out. Okay, so once I have the bulk of the paper off, I clean my work area, and I come back with a clean sponge, and I'm going to use the scrubby side to really go over that well. Easier than my fingers. So there's still slightly a little bit of paper, you know, coming off here and there. And I have a spot right here that looks like I glued down. I got glue on the top of my paper, so I will just use a little sanding block for that, or I'll leave it, I'm not sure. I think it looks kind of cool that way. All right, so once I'm satisfied that I've gotten most of the paper off, that is going to come off, I'm going to go and take a clean paper towel and wipe that down. I think that looks so cool. It might be a little bit cloudy, but I actually like it this way, rather than, you know, a pitch black sign for my kitchen. This is what's going on in my kitchen, so I like a little bit of rustic going on. So I'm going to try and sand this a little bit with my sanding sponge. Let's see what I can do with that. Probably nothing. We'll see. There we go. A little bit of it came off. I don't want to take the design off, so I'm going to stop now. And so you can see the lines where my paper was. So that's why I would next time do a sheet that is as long as my project, so that the lines aren't going to show. But watch what we're going to do next. Now when this dries up, it's probably going to lighten up a little bit. The ink is probably going to dry a little bit lighter than what you can see on the camera right now. But this is a really cool design. I think it's really nice. So what I'm going to do here is take some jute, and I'm going to wrap around this end here, like 3 or 4 times. Oh, I need a little more than that. So we'll start in the back, and then we'll wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to straighten that out a bit. And this is going to go over to this side, and we'll wrap that side as well. And I'm just going to tie this up here. So just tie that off and knot it on the top. So make a knot, and then we'll work on the other side. And I'll probably hot glue this knot too, because I am going to trim. I'll probably just glue that down to the back. So the other side, 4 times around. So I guess I have to figure out how high I want this to be. So I'll be back when I figure that. I'm going to take my distress ink and try and go around the edges a little bit, just to distress that a little. Just a little bit here and there. That looks cool. What do you think? You guys love it? Let me know in the comments below if you think you might try something like this. What kind of sign are you going to make? Are you going to, you know, do maybe coasters? Or, I mean, the possibilities are just all up to your imagination and what you think would be fun. So this dishwasher safe Mod Podge is a gloss finish, I believe, and it could be used right over top of this. I did seal my other practice one with that, and it doesn't, to me, it doesn't look that shiny, just satiny to me. That's how it looks. It looks sort of like this. So there is my Inkjet transfer give thanks fall wishes signage that's going to hang in my kitchen. I'm going to probably put a little bit of raffia above the sign. I already have a piece of wood hanging there. It's just a thin piece of wood and it has like nails on it that I'm going to hang this on. And then I think the raffia might go on above it. So stay tuned for that photo at the end of this video and you'll see how I made that work out. And I thank you for joining me. I hope you give this a try. Let me know in the comments if you do. And subscribe to my channel, thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.